Welcome to season 10 of the Education Concierge Podcast. You know who I am. I'm your host, Benita G, the Education Concierge. Y'all know I love it when we have family, this family to come be part of our family. That's what I have today. And we slid into somebody's DM professionally. We vetted them and they are now coming on the show. So you know what you need to have. I already have it. Don't worry about what's in my cup. What's in yours. Don't worry about it. Have something in your cup. Have your handy dandy pen as always. Have a pinky and take some notes, okay? Because we're going to drop some nuggets. You're going to learn. You're probably going to be encouraged in the Lord. And we're going to get you straight because we're talking about legacy and progress. So we're not just talking about what you did. We're talking about what you're doing and how you're going to move education forward for the 22nd century. So get ready as we bring him into the family. Welcome into the family, sir. How are you today?
Hey, how you doing today? Thanks for opportunity to come on.
Love it. So here we go. I am a good old country girl, not really Southern, but I am country from Lawrenceville, Virginia.
Okay.
So it's okay if you don't know what it is. People do know, but they don't know. But they got a ticket there, so they know.
Yeah.
In the country and in most Southern and country Black families that we invite you over to eat. And as a guest, you never fix your plate. We normally fix your plate for you. But, you come in the house, leave your shoes at the front door because it got red dirt clay. Go down the hall, wash your hands in the hallway bathroom because you're not cooking. So while you're in my kitchen sink washing your hands, do not use my mama's decorated towels. They're not for you. They're just to look at. There's some paper towels over there on the sink and you come back. But when you come back in, we have the first question of today's podcast. And it is, do you need a plate with sections or do you just need a regular plate?
Regular plate.
Regular plate. I love it. Thank you. Regular plate. And we have all the soul food. We just gonna put a little bit on there. And then you tell us what you don't want. But we normally ask, kind of before you get there. But we also make sure you have a cold glass of iced tea that's sweet. Because unsweet tea is a blasphemy. We don't believe in that. We don't believe in that. It's the family. Introduce yourself and tell us who you are and what you do.
My name is David Heber. I'm the CEO of Redemption, but for the past 16 years, I was the CEO and founder of Concentric Educational Solutions. So that's what I've done for 16 years. So this is the first time in 16 years that I haven't been a CEO. So it's bittersweet, more sweet than bitter. Yeah, it's been good times, particularly at the beginning of the school year.
I love that. Now tell us what you stepped down from. What was that business?
So Concentric is a student support organization that specializes in home visits, mentoring, and tutoring. I started that out because I was director of student support services years and years ago in DC. Before that, I was a principal in Baltimore. And now Concentric I grew it from $150,000 investment from New School Venture Fund as the first Black person that they funded to 2 years ago. We got the largest Series A funding for a Black company in the history of Maryland, $10 million. Yeah, Black folks, we just don't get VC funding. And now we're in 16 states, 200 and some districts. So I've stepped aside as the CEO. I'm technically the CVO, whatever the hell that is, Chief Visionary Officer. Yeah, I don't know. So I still do that, but it allows me to be chairman of the board. I still own the company. It allows me to be more visionary as opposed to the day-to-day stuff, which is beneficial. And then I started Redemption. So Redemption is just a little bit more radical, a little bit more allows me to be me and to the point. It's very similar to what we were talking about before we came on. It allows me to be the Newt that I am as opposed to the Kappa that people want me to be.
Those of you who don't know what we're talking about, that's our age group, okay? If you don't know what we're talking about, Google it later. Now, you have basically two businesses. You grew, and I, when you said New School Venture, I was like, that's where I saw it. One of the first Blacks, I don't even know how many were after you, but I know you were the first to receive that funding. I've been to several of their events, gone to several of their trainings.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. So you've done Concentric, you're still part of that as a visionary. You're going on Redemption, you say you're being a little bit more radical. What part of redemption do you think is the radical part?
I mean, just when you take funding, when anybody takes funding, now you have stakeholders. You don't own the company yourself. You have shareholders. It just changes a little bit, right? And so one of the things I think has happened in education is a lot of times we just be bullshitting, right? Like we think we have the answers. We pretend that we have everything together when we're just one drink away at the end of the night, just trying to live our lives. One of the things I've seen as the CEO of Redemption of Concentric is I saw the nasty side of education. I saw the nasty side of people just trying to keep their jobs. I understand people got to make a living. People talking and promising things, never coming through. People pretending like they got the answers and they don't. People wasting time when our students don't. And so just calling that, and I'm old now. Like I'm about to be 50, and I just don't have time for it. And so what Redemption does is I call, our young people call cap. I just curse all day long and curse people out. I mean, we really mess around, and our children don't have time for that. And so Redemption allows me also to get out of the box of just education, because working with our students is not just about education. It's a public health challenge. So it crosses a lot of different things. So it just frees me up a little bit.
Okay, so when we go into that, what are the systems, because you talked about it a little bit here, but what other systems do you believe you're challenging when you go into redemption? And we know systems run nonprofit, the medical space, like every spectrum has a system.
So, I'll give you a clear example or a salient point if I'm being a CEO, right? Is that we talk about chronic absenteeism as a buzzword now. I mean, hell, students weren't coming before the pandemic. Right. Now you have all these predominantly white companies trying to jump in and whatever. And it's another money grab because they're trying to make money off Black, brown, and poor white children. And they know who they are. And so the systems and structures are saying that, okay, we want to get these children back. But here's the fact of the matter is that to have rich, you must have poor. Systems are not broken. The systems are set up and getting the results that they're designed to have. It's not a design flaw. It's actually happening. But what's also happening is we are taking our time, particularly as Black educators, and our young people don't have that time. And so what Redemption is trying to do is say specifically, and I testified at the Baltimore City Council about this, the same students who aren't coming to school or disengaged for whatever reason, they're out committing crimes or they're doing other things. And so you can't address the school system without addressing all the other social supports. And it's truly a tandem and a partnership that has to happen.
I love that, because one of the things I loved when I taught at Kelly Miller in DC.
Oh yeah.
That we had wraparound services.
Yes.
And so if a student came to me and was like, "Look, my lights got cut off last night," I'm like, "Okay, come on." Go her around the corner to the office. Walk the other way. We actually had two different services. Walk around the corner to the office and say, "Hey, when you finish talking to him, just give him a pass to come back."
Yes.
And they would figure it out. I didn't need to be a part of it, but they trusted us enough to say, "Look, having some problems that I know as a child are out of my control, but I need somebody to help because it's impacted me getting to school, coming to school, my clothes not clean." Then I was able to work at a different school here in Tennessee where we had washer and dryers.
Yes. Yep.
And my middle schoolers would come in early. And they would have a pass from the guidance counselor. They would show us the pass, and we knew they could go. They didn't need anything. Just bring your dirty clothes.
Yep. I started Concentric while I was in DC. Right? Like, I mean, it was literally because this is 2007 when I got to DC 2010, and I was director of student support services, which were wraparound services. Yes. And it was the Benita G tragedy that happened. And that's where the 4 young girls were found dead because the mother killed them over there by Baloo and Anacostia. Yeah, I mean that's how it started. And no one, and they went to 4 different schools. No school had documented specific efforts, and people had information and they just weren't communicating. So that's how Concentric started. Absolutely.
And I love, look, anybody asked me, my favorite 2 places was Huntington Middle School in Newport News and Kelly Miller, because I grew up as an educator, as a leader, and I was surrounded by people who gave me the opportunity to really learn how to lead with compassion and
Yeah.
empathy, but also with strength and dignity.
Yes.
Those are the places that I learned. Okay, so here we go. So I want you to share your current project or the current platform you have. And how is that building a community?
Yeah, one of the things I intentionally tried to do with Redemption was like, what were the lessons learned? Because I didn't know what I was doing when I started Concentric. I realized that there was a need. I wanted to make sure I connected the dots. But again, I was an educator in going into business and entrepreneurship. And now, 16, 17 years ago, it wasn't the trend. We didn't have these different platforms. Podcasts were just kind of coming up. It had not gotten here now. And so what Redemption is that it's working across different sectors, but it's also really about bringing young people along, or people younger than me. And so I was very intentional in my hiring of our professional student advocates for Concentric. I mean, at one point I had 240 employees, over 220 went to HBCUs, and 200 were part of the Divine, I'll give them to it, Divine 9, but really Divine 8. And of that, I had 150 noops, right? So you can just imagine the organization. I mean, those things are important to me. I have three, because of my background, I have three loves, institutional loves, and that's Lincoln, my alma mater, and obviously you went to Hampton, so you know what that means. And people don't understand is that even though being a part of a frat is a bond, being an alum from an HBCU, it's just different. It cuts across organizations, years, and whatever the case may be. So Lincoln, I love Lincoln. Obviously, I love Kappa Alpha Psi, and I love NAPSE, a National Alliance of Black School Educators, three primary Black organizations. And so now in the second half of my life is really about building those organizations up and giving back, because each one played such a pivotal role in my life. I mean, I got accepted to Lincoln. Lincoln accepted me when I was in prison, so that was powerful. Kappa became my extended family because my parents had passed away, and then NAPSE is the platform that I think that we need to get back to as Black educators.
There it is.
Yeah, yes. So this year's conference is interesting, is that it's going to be in Chicago. I was in the one with Atlanta, and we actually had we brought Drew Hill down there to open up the conference. Yeah, so that was my company that brought Drew Hill. Shout out to Cisco, the Dragon, Tokyo, Scola, Black, all the people, right? Jazz. I mean, this year will be in Chicago. What's great about it is there's only 4 founding members left of NAPSE, and one of them, Dr. Russell Jackson, lives in Chicago, so he'll actually be in attendance.
Good. That's excellent. Okay, because it's kind of like, look, I love it. It's like a family reunion where,
Yes.
sometimes you got to go back and get closer to the elders so they can attend.
Absolutely.
So I love that. Okay, so we talk about obstacles and we talk about ownership. Name one challenge you face and how you push through with creativity, care, and courage.
Being a Black company is it's liberation in action. It's a lot of different challenges that has happened. There's no prescription for it, whether people are try to follow different things or advice on IG or wherever the case may be, or whatever social media platform. The fact of the matter is that being an entrepreneur, a Black entrepreneur, there's so many things that go into it that unless you go through it, you just don't know. It's literally like a pledging process, but it's not with a definitive end date. You don't know when it's going to end. You're just online. I'm still pledging. I'm still pledging. I still feel like I'm in the cut.
For those of you who don't understand that, it basically means just an ongoing process. Okay.
Yes.
You think you're finished and you're not. Something else pops. That's what we mean. Because I know some people are like, I didn't finish, Benita.
Yeah. No, I mean it's one of the things I tell to my young noops is that the pledging process is, and the things that we learned a lot of times are lost because you're young, but they're literally lifelong lessons. The best ability is availability. You know what I mean? The things you learned as far as communication. Whether, you know, if you really not just memorize Invictus, but you actually live it, right? If you commit yourself to don't quit, if you think about there's so many life lessons that are taught there. And it forged me. Like prison did one thing for me as far as the resiliency and the grit, but Lincoln and Kappa, they molded it.
Yes.
Right? They took that stuff. And I mean, if it wasn't for them, definitely I wouldn't be able to have done Concentric for so long. I mean, there was a lot of lean years, dark years. A lot of people sacrificed so that Concentric could be what it is today. And so now it's the push, giving it to the next set of leaders and pushing it forward, and me guiding it, kind of like a big brother from afar, but using redemption as a way to do that.
Okay. What do you want to be remembered for in education and leadership?
Damn, that's powerful. Is that we had for Concentric, I had like pillars, right, cornerstones, and we had 5. And I ran the organization for such a long time, like I was a dean. I mean, I just did. And the cornerstones really were tenacity, authenticity, commitment, professionalism. I just ran through them. So what we did with redemption is, or what I did with redemption is, like, I really brought it down to 3 things: authenticity, vulnerability, and empathy. That I want to be able to live with. I want to be able to lead with those things and be remembered for that. And that I led with what was right, and I was willing to suffer. And a lot of us are willing to. And I'm not this saint, and by no means. I just don't think a lot of us lead with authenticity and vulnerability, and that is what I want to be known for. Is that I want to be able to people realize that I suffered for it. Like most of the time we give, but giving is easy. Like that's when you clean out your closet and you give something away that you haven't worn in years. Like, would you suffer? Meaning, would you go without and give something that you don't want to do? And I don't think we do that. I don't think that we do that enough. Quite frankly, I don't think that it's set up and designed for us to do that. I mean, a lot of us are still paid just enough to be enslaved. If it's not physically, we're definitely paid enough just to be enslaved psychologically. And that's what it is.
Wow. I love that. So 5 for Concentric, that's still moving forward. Yeah. And then for redemption, 3. Yeah. And these are the things that we look for. We're going to honor, we're going to show, we're going to live and breathe through it. I love that. Okay. So we do this thing called the truth table.
Yeah, I love it.
I used to call it controversial corner. So y'all know that they don't know the question, and you can always opt out and be like, Benita, I ain't answering that. No, thank you. But I want to get people's views on that. So we always have this debate. Well, I don't debate people because I don't know answer. People want to debate me about when I say college is not for everyone. What is your viewpoint on that, or what do you say when you hear that?
I absolutely agree. So I have to agree with you on that. I think post-secondary has got to be an option for something and for people. What I think in education, we were forced to be very innovative during the pandemic. And now we're kind of reverting back to that norm. And I think education is one of the least innovative things, even though we address it or dress different words up and stuff like that. Like, let's call it for what it is. We're talking about delayed gratification, talking memorize this to do this, and then go to college to get a job to work for somebody. I mean, it's bullshit, quite frankly. I mean, you'll have a job, but you'll be comfortable. I said this to my line. So my LBs, to me, it will be the last line of 22 cats that actually pledged. There's 21 of us still living. Shout out to Dre, rest in peace. But we could have been multi-millionaires of a line of 22, but we were so conditioned to go get a job and work for somebody. 9 of us are in education. We should have our own damn school. Now that we're going into our 50s, we're like, we think about 401ks, what we should have done and stuff like that. And I told those cats, like, yo, we blew this shit. We blew it. I talked to y'all 16, 17 years ago about it. That we should have just said hell with it and go bet on yourself. And I know that's scary and it's counterintuitive to what we're taught. But no, college should be there for people. If it wasn't there for me, I was still been locked up. I had 8-year sentence. But it was what college did for me. It wasn't training me to do what thought I was going to do. I thought I was going to be an attorney. What it did was it pushed me to be the best version of myself as far as professional. That's what it did. It opened up the possibilities that were out there. So no, I don't. Particularly what people are coming out of school with debt now and it's crazy. So unless you got a full ride, it is a business decision. And that's what I told DJ and Cheyenne. DJ got accepted to Morehouse, Howard. I'm talking about like just for the HBCUs. Morehouse wasn't giving him any money, right? And Howard was giving him like $1,500. And I was like, no. I said, I have a place in Texas. You could pick a place in state, and they gave me money. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yo, it's a business decision. At this point, it's a business decision. So and no, yeah. And this generation is about being entrepreneurs from the very beginning. They're thinking about hustling right now and grinding, and we got to lean into that.
We have to, because they'll tell me like, and I'm like my oldest nephew, he was like, you need you should have electronic card. I said, I don't know what. He said, yeah, your cards that you give out. Let me set it up. He set up my electronic business card. Set it up.
Yeah, no. Oh yeah, like hello or yes. I didn't even know about that. My son did the same thing with me. Yeah, no, this generation is teaching us if we're willing to be taught.
Oh my goodness. And I love that in education, and I love what your program does. Yeah. Especially Concentric, where you are guiding and you're using the youth. And you said it earlier, with education, we're behind the 8 ball, trying to release students into the 22nd century. We still stuck in the 21st century. I don't know why. Yeah. COVID came in the doors of heaven so that we can be innovative, and they quickly shut them as soon as they said open the doors of the traditional school back up.
That's exactly right.
I love your programs because they do push back, but they push back with a purpose. It's not just like I'm out here flailing. No, we're not going to do it that way. We're going to do it this way because.
Yep.
I love that. All right. Thank you for playing with me. Thank you, table. Now we're going to play the real game. This one is called Rapid Fire Reframe. So you remember that song, You Can Get With This or You Can Get
With That. Black Sheep.
Love them, y'all. Google it, y'all, because I know y'all don't. Yeah. Black Sheep was underrated. Y'all slept on them a little too much. But so we do rapid fire. Now here, I'm going to give you a this or that, or it may be complete this sentence. Try and go as fast as you can, but educators, we be messing up. So if your answer is both, or you want to explain it, I'll take that too.
Gotcha.
Okay, here we go. Curriculum or culture?
Culture.
One thing you would delete from the traditional school day?
The clock.
Most overused education buzzword?
Chronic absentees.
You're going to say that. Do I start with strategy or do I start with heart? Most meaningful mistake you've made?
Getting married the first time.
I don't even know what I'm giggling. Because I feel like if somebody had asked me the same question, I would have said that. My first marriage.
Yeah, my first marriage.
My most meaningful mistake. Okay. What would your 15-year-old self say to you about the work you're doing now?
My 15-year-old self is the work I'm doing now?
Yes. What would you say to yourself?
Thank you.
One myth about education that needs to go away forever.
That we think that there are experts.
Oh, you done hurt some people's feelings.
All these motherfuckers who say they experts and stuff like that, they bullshit.
I got another question. Okay. Test scores or testimonials?
Testimonials.
Textbooks or TikTok tutorials?
Old school textbooks.
Okay. And the last one is fill in the blank. The future of education is?
Opportunistic and bright if embraced.
It's the embracing part.
Yeah.
It's the embracing part. So here's my last question. We're getting ready to wrap up. What is your belief? Well, not even your belief. How is artificial intelligence or assistive intelligence impacting how you run your companies and going forward? Yeah,
this is amazing question because I was slow to embrace it. It is a game changer but I think that there's going to be a regression back to the mean at some point, because no matter what you do, there's a human, and no matter how intuitive that it can become, adaptable, predictive, whatever words we want to use, there's a human element that cannot be compensated for. But it is a game changer, and it's scary where it probably is already that we don't even know about.
Yes. And I'm always trying to listen to podcasts and YouTube.
Yes.
I'm trying to listen to Alicia Little, who's the mother, or what do they call her? The queen of AI, who's a sister. She's been doing AI for 15 years.
Oh, really?
Yes. And I follow her on podcasts.
Hold on. Is that
Alicia Little.
I got it. Okay, okay, that's dope. Yeah, it's game changer is too overused word for it, but it is it's powerful. Yeah, that's a whole absolutely. Particularly for like you talked about our generation, it's gonna be powerful how much we lean in and stuff like that by keeping the human touch. It's so yeah.
How do we use our wisdom?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're not smarter than these kids. These kids smart.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's the wisdom that we have that's going to keep us going. I love. Okay, so this is how we end. You tell our family, because now you're a family member, how do we connect with you on LinkedIn, IG, social media, your website? Do you have a book? Do we need to donate? What do we need to do to support you?
Yeah, no. So here's what's interesting. I don't even know my IG handle and it was my LinkedIn.
Okay, we'll put it in the show notes, y'all.
Yeah, I'm sure it's in there, David Heber somewhere. But I am excited about, it was 16 years in the making, our book, One Door at a Time, the story of how putting students at the story of Concentric and how putting students at the center of education works. Thank you. So it was a privilege to be able to write it with my Neo, who's my chief of staff, who I'm still pledging 20 years later, right? Michael Gary, and our third co-author, the third co-author is Ivory Tolson, professor at Howard University. Ivory it's crazy. 14 years ago, I went to Ivory and said, man, I need you to write a study on my company. He was like, I can't afford them. And I couldn't. And now he works for me. So, but Ivory is one of the most profound intellectuals of our generation. So everyone can get the book One Door at a Time, Amazon, Brill, or just hit me directly. We have it.
Okay, so we'll add that information, the link on there, and you'll have to come back when we do our authors web series.
Yeah, and so I didn't publish for a long time, and so Ivory got me over the hump, and then we have a second one coming out, Black History Month 2026, called Concentricity, our theory of change.
You better come through with the 2 books coming as soon as you
said. Yeah, I got the writing bug.
And we need that, because I work with new teachers all the time. I'm like, no, I need you to read this book because you're not ready. Yeah. I love Blooms and I love all of them, but we got real human children in front of us. That's so cute.
I want to thank you so much.
Thank you. Look, my name is Benita Gordon. Y'all know that, but I grew up going to church at Little Shiloh Baptist Church on Otterdam Road in Jarrett, Virginia. I know y'all don't know what that is.
No, wow.
Google it later. And my pastor who baptized me, who's gone on to heaven, was Reverend Jacob Turner Jr. And you better not say nothing bad about him because I'll fight you. Waverly, Virginia. The doors of the church are open. Even you don't have to call people to the door, they already came. But what your job is the guest pastor.
Mm-hmm.
Give us some encouragement for the rest of the week, because because the people out in the parking lot. Because what you doing? So I need you, and our family needs you to give us some encouragement, to be motivated, to stay dedicated for the rest of the week. And then we're going to end it there.
Absolutely. So, no, I want you to make sure that God doesn't make mistakes, that there's God in everything and everyone. Shun not the struggle, for it is God's gift. Be strong, be strong, be strong. And remember, God's isolation is his classroom. So lean into the instruction. Don't go over and around it. Go through it, embrace it, and see God on the other side.
Oh, my God. Y'all, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, thank you so much for coming on this podcast on season 10 legacy and progress. And thank you to your family, your friends, and your business for taking time out to come on Michelle Obama's internet.
I love
and share your wisdom and how you're building your legacy, because it's not what you already did, it's what you're doing now and moving forward. Y'all, see y'all later. Oh, I'm sorry. Share, subscribe, and support. Don't play with me. We're trying to get them numbers up. Okay. See y'all later.
Bye-bye.